I am Queen Boss Lady, and this is part two of my testimony. I am the last person that you want to be. Do not be jealous of people and who they are or what they have, because I have literally had 6 generations come up against me and seek after my life, not including the hitmen that my family sent. Okay, so part two. They began to tell this friend, my daughter's friend, she began to tell her mom more about me. The fact that I don't have family, the fact that I left my family because, you know, they were mistreating me and things like that. So her light bulb came on and she was like, I can attack this person. They don't have family. They don't have friends. They don't have anyone. So I can control this person. I can bully this person. And this is where she began to try and bully me because I wouldn't compete with her. She wanted me to go out and get in debt and get my daughter the new iPhone. And when I just had bought her an iPhone. She wanted me to compete with her. And why? When I say, come on kids, we going to the mall to get shoes, we go to the Galleria and I buy my kids 2 shoes a piece. I let them pick what they want. If we're in Burlington and they see little sandals that they like, little slots, I buy them. You know, she wanted me to buy my kids something every time she bought her kids something. And she realized I wasn't doing that shit. God informed me that that's what she was doing, and she was, trying to steal my kids from me. So God informed me, he says, I don't want you to buy them anything else. You know, just spend time with them. Take them to get ice cream, take them to the park, talk to them, love on them, teach them, womanly things about their bodies, their menstruals, things like that, different, how to keep their hygienes good, things like that. So that's what I started doing. And I was already doing that with my girls anyways, but I was just focusing more on that instead of buying them things and, buying them material things and things like that. So it was around, I want to say whichever, Christmas break, right? So my daughter wanted to go over there. Mind you, we're not celebrating holidays. Mind you, their dads aren't helping me with anything. And so I'm like, sure, you can go over there for a couple of days. In a couple of days, my daughter called me and was like, Mom, is it okay if I stay another week? And I'm like, no, you should come home. And she's like, no, it's fine. Her mom is okay with it. And I'm like, let me speak to her mom. And she's like, yeah, it's okay if she stays, blah, 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 blah. So, my telekinesis, like, they setting you up. And I'm like, fuck, for what? Like, about what? So I paid no mind. I tell my oldest daughter, I'm like, we're going to the nail shop in the morning, so go ahead and pick out your nails that you want. So when we get there in the morning, you'll already know what you want. And I say, make sure you set your alarm for 7 o'clock because I want to be the first one there when they open those doors. So set your alarm. So pick out your nail set and set your alarm, right? So I get up, I get dressed, I'm ready, da-da-da-da. My daughter is not ready. She didn't even get up. She's in there snoring, sleep. So you know what I did? I left to go to the nail shop. My daughter is 14 years old. So I took my children to the daycare and went and got me some Starbucks, some breakfast, because that's what we do. That was our little thing. Going to Starbucks, getting us some breakfast, and then going to get our nails done like we had done so many times before. Even when she was a little girl. So I'm in the chair getting my nails done, and then she decides to wake up and call me. Oh my goodness, da 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 da. Like I overslept and da da da. I'm like, who oversleeps to go get free food and free nails? They had this thing where they didn't want any evidence of me doing anything good for them or having anything, because they had already stirred up this plan and plot to make it seem like I was an unfit mother. Um, Also, my sister sent some witchcraft to help them uh, with this process as well. And you know, she told me she was going to send me some witchcraft, some spiritual warfare, because she was like, I'm gonna do you way worse than your baby daddy did you. And I'm like, he tried to kill me, so okay. And I immediately was able to read into what she was saying spiritually, and I was immediately notified by my spiritual team what she was going to do, what they planned to do, and everything like that. And what I saw in the spirit room, what God revealed to me in the spirit room, was her and my daughter got together and they unalived, they sacrificed a black dog. And then I like came in the room when they were performing the ritual. Like God actually allowed me to be there in the spiritual room while they were performing this act. And I was like, no, no, don't do it. Like my sister's literally holding the dog up and my daughter is literally going to cut the neck of the dog. And I was like, no, no. And they did it anyways. And then they just dropped the animal and then they was like, just leave it for her to clean up. And so this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to make a big mess and leave it for me to clean up and be distracted from being happy and being healed and being whole. Now, there was a period in my life where God did not want me to work. He wanted me to heal. He revealed a lot of things to me about my family, about certain friends, the Wilsons and everything like that. And I was healing, and my children was angry because I wasn't bringing in the money to buy them the new shoes and the latest J's and the latest iPhones for a period of time. But they still had new shoes, new clothes. It just wasn't very often, and they were used to often, like every other 2 weeks or every week, you know. Um, so once I got back into like the working field and things like that, it's still they were like they would get mad when I did anything for them. They would get mad, they would get upset, they would try to gaslight me so that I wouldn't do it for them. I took my daughter to get her birthday cake, and she wanted a birthday cake that costed $300. And I was having her a surprise party, right? She didn't know about this surprise party. I just was tricking her. I was pranking her because, like I said, we had YouTube channels. And so I was pranking her and just making her think we were just going to have, you know, cake and ice cream at the house and, you know, things like that. But I ended up having her a birthday party at Urban Air. But I took her to the bakery to pick her birthday cake out. And it was so many different birthday cakes. And she literally, oh, I want that cake. It's a 2-layer cake. Now, true enough, I told her she can invite who she wanted to her birthday party at the house. So I'm expecting, like, you know, a sheet cake like we always do, one big enough or whatever. She picks out a $300, what looks to be like a wedding fucking cake. Gets mad with me because I'm like, no, that's a wedding cake and it's $300. Like, get mad with me. She cussed me out at the bakery. After the baker told her, yes, I can design any cake you want. She wanted a cake with the heels and the lipstick and the purse on it. And the baker was like, yes, I can make that. I can do all of that for you. But she wanted it on a $300 cake. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting you a $300 cake. She cussed me out in front of people. That was her specialty. She would love to get me in front of people. And now, mind you, this is the bakery that I have been going to for about 2 years now, because I always go there to get their birthday cakes. So she wanted to embarrass me in front of them. I said, fine. I let her go off on me. The lady was like, you really shouldn't be talking to your mom like that. I was like, it's fine, because my daughter has behavior issues, and I'm going to get into that. She has mental issues as well. And so she would have episodes, and I would let her have her episodes or whatever, trying to be supportive and things like that. And so she went off on me, and the next day she apologized, and she was like, you know what, Mom, that was very wrong of me to do that. That was very wrong. And this is the note that she wrote me, and I'm gonna go ahead and read it now. I have dear Mom. It's not letting me see it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read it. These are my receipts. Dear Mom, I had a wonderful birthday, spending my special day. Thank you for being a great mother to me. I was wrong for acting stubborn yesterday after you had laid on the table and gave birth to me. I am so thankful to have a mom like you. I love you very much. I shouldn't have acted that way. I love you. Thank you for giving birth to me. This is the front of the letter. The greatest mom. Open this letter and endure it in love. This letter as much as we love you. I love you. And this is her signature. This is from her, and this is to Mom. And she made it like a little envelope, and she put it on my dresser for doing that. So because the allegations that she has came up with now is just, it's hilarious. So she was setting me up, and so back to my daughter setting me up, right? So God had told me that they were going to betray me, and I got very upset. And I wanted things to I wanted it to be over. I wanted them to go ahead and betray me and get it over with. So I got very upset. I got very defensive with them. And, okay, back to the lady saying my daughter can spend another week with her. After I told my daughter to come home, she was like, no, Mom, it's okay. It's okay. I spoke to her mom, and she's like, yeah, it's fine. And I'm like, once again, I heard they're setting you up, and I'm like, what the fuck? And this was like, you know, like I said, the next day, trying to get my daughter's nails done. That was an epic fail. So the next day, I'm at home. I'm getting ready to do a video for my girls, and I get this text. And she's texted me a picture of my daughter smiling, and she's like, yeah, bitch, your daughter doesn't smile like this when she's at home. And I'm like, oh, hell no. What the fuck are you talking about? So instantly, I started reading into the situation, because a lot of these people didn't know that I was a psychic. A lot of these people didn't know that I have spiritual gifts, spiritual wisdom, and spiritual knowledge and insight in seeing what the fuck people are doing behind my back. And that's why it's not something that I share with everyone, but it is now, because I'm done with people fucking with me and fucking over me for absolutely no reason, just because I am being, okay? So I text her, I'm like, what are you talking about? My daughter smiles all the time. I'm like, what are you talking about? My daughter smiles all the time. Like, and She's like, oh, your daughter been over here for a whole week and you ain't sent no food for her. You ain't sent her no money. I'm like, mm-mm, mm-mm. Bring my daughter home because she has a cabinet full of food and anything she needs, I can provide it for her. Just bring my youngin' home. Thank you. I'm not go argue with your nigga, cause that's what spirit put me all in her business. Why she thinks she all in mine. Spirit like, oh, she wanna attack you because you doing the damn thing. You ain't no play single mother out here with kids. She mad cause she only got one child. And you out here doing the damn thing. You got four. And all four of my kids had their own businesses. At the age of 12, at the age of 14, at the age of 5 and 2. They all had their own businesses. Up and running and being operated all by me. My daughters like to bake. So I say, you know what? We all gonna bake, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go out in the community and we're gonna sell these baked goods. And when I told you, the community ate it up. They ate everything that we made. And all of that money went to my children. My oldest daughter was running a candy store. I let her have the candy store. I was working full time. I was doing lashes. So all of that money was going to her. My door, literally, and mind y'all, I wasn't in no shitty ass neighborhood, but I had shitty ass, raggedy ass neighbors. I had neighbors from the pits of fucking hell. Okay? Could you imagine like a big ass, beautiful 10-story condo, right? Beautiful in the okay side of the neighborhood, just beautiful. As soon as you walk in, you have a view of the city, you have a balcony, windows, appliances, everything new. But you have fucking the raggedy ass rats from the goddamn gutters. Just anybody watching this, any state that you're living in, you know your number one like hood, like the number one hood in your city. Just take all those people out of those units and put them in a condo, a brand new condo. Nobody has ever lived. The apartment that I had got blessed with, me and my family was the first family to ever live in there. It was brand new. Everything was brand new. So I'm like, yeah, just go ahead, bring her home. Thank you so much. So she brought my daughter home, but she also decided that she was going to call CPS, DCF, whatever it is. So she called them good old folks on me. And when they came to my house and when they looked at me, they was like, are we at the wrong? Just by looking at me, they thought they was in the wrong. Like, no, we're not looking for you. We're looking for. I'm like, no, that's me. I'm like, no, this bitch didn't. You want to control my household based off of me not sending. It's always with these ratchet ass bitches, it's always about my money. It's always about what the fuck I won't do, what they're telling me to do. So they looked into the situation, they investigated me, they went to the schools, and the schools was like, oh my God, we love her. She is like the number one parent here. Like, she do not play with her kids and she do not play about her kids. So I was like, okay, we are not, y'all cut off from with them, right? She did not want to let my daughter go. She sent an iPhone to school to give to my daughter. My daughter started secretly recording me. She was asking my daughter, like, what is she doing now? What is she doing now? What is she doing now? I caught wind of my daughter having this phone that she was not supposed to have. I took it from her. This woman came to my house beating on my door. Like I said, my children had gotten heavy into witchcraft, and they were doing witchcraft on me. Okay. And at first, I ran to my kitchen because I knew it was her. I ran to my kitchen and I got a knife. And I was like, I'm finna stab this bitch. And then I heard them laughing. I heard a demonic, evil ass laugh from the both of my children. It was in there. It was so evil and demonic. It snapped me back into reality. God was saying, God said they're setting you up. Now, who in their right mind is gonna sit there and laugh when their mother says they're gonna stab somebody? You know, any other child would come in there and be like, no, mom, don't do that. Put the knife down. Like, it's okay. Just calm down. No, they stayed and they started laughing. And it snapped me so fast back into reality. I put the knife back. I was like, yeah, they want me to go to jail. They want me to go to hell. And God has already given me the game plan. So I'm just going to do what he wants me to do. So I called the police. I said, I have somebody at my door. She's banging. She wants me to come out. She wants to confront me. So the police come and I'm telling them, like, she wants to run my household so bad, you know, because how dare you be out here free? How dare you not have to put up with your family shit? How dare you not have to put up with baby daddy shit? How dare you be out here taking care of your kids for real, for real? And I'm going to convince your child that you're not really taking care of her because you bought her the iPhone she asked for. She should have a new iPhone because my daughter has an iPhone. How dare you buy her the shoes that she asked for? She should have Gucci shoes because I went and fucked her dad and I got my child Gucci shoes. I have 4 children, so why would I buy one child a pair of Gucci shoes? Yeah, when her YouTube channel started making Gucci shoe money, when she stopped, you know, my children were putting all the things that we have had created down to dabble in witchcraft. They had a cooking business that made them over $100 over the weekend. My door alone would make $100 a day. On a bad day, $50. On a worst day, $30. And all of that money went to my children on top of me. See, I wasn't the type of mom to be like, oh, use your money to do this and use your money. No, I wanted them to save their money so that they can invest in something else that they wanted. So I still provided socks, panties, clothes, deodorant, perfume. I would take my kids to Bath and Body Works and tell them, hey, get y'all 3 fragrances with the lotions, get y'all a thing, and you know, let's go. Everybody had their own bag. We would go to Victoria's Secrets. We would go to where would I take them to get their panties? I used to take them to Burlington to get their panties and TJ Maxx and stuff to get their little bras and their underwears. I would take them to do that. So I'm, you know, telling the police and everything like that, and they're like, yeah, ma'am, this is crazy. Like, why are you here again? And so she's like, she's abusing her children. She abuses them. She beats them. She's always beating them. She beats them for every little thing that they do. I be on the phone with her and she did da. So since she said that I beat my kids and things like that, the police was like, okay, well, we need to talk to the kids because she's saying that you beat your kids and things like that. So I'm like, sure, no problem. Like, you know, you could talk to my kids, no problem. I didn't resist at all. I let my kids go outside and speak to the police officers, not knowing they was gonna agree with her. Oh, honey, they agree with her. I beat them all the time. I beat them for any little thing that they do. I beat them just black and blue. If they just say good morning to me, I greet them with an ass whooping. And I'm like, so this is how y'all want to play it, right? And instead of me getting mad like they wanted me to, they wanted me to get mad and flip out, and that's not me. So, but I have been in situations in my past, you know, 10, 12 years ago where I was gaslighted and I went off. If you have never been gaslit to the point where you go to fuck off, kudos to you, okay? So I don't remember exactly what I spoke, but I remember my other two neighbors coming out, and they are the ones that vouched for me just by being my neighbors and being bystanders and just knowing like how I move. They like, no, that lady don't bother nobody. Her children always clean, well dressed. You know, she go in her house, she be in her house, and when she come out her house, she be gone. She has her kids in dance. She has, you know, she sells to the community. Everybody buys from her. Everybody loves and respects her. And that's what my daughters wanted to change because, see, I wasn't fitting the narrative of what they started putting out. So they're like, we're going to have to work the root of the thing. And so they vouched for me, but I remember saying something. I said something, and it made every police officer head turn, their neck turn. The lady told me the hair stood up on the back of her neck. I remember I just said Jesus something because they were like, they finna take all my kids from me. I'm gonna have to get them back and things like that. Y'all, hold on. It's so many distractions. Go ahead. Go. Go. So the police officer telling me that, you know, my kids are going to be removed from the home. And I told him in Jesus' name. I don't remember what I told him, but I told him something. And baby, my children were not removed. They ended up putting me in cuffs due to, what my children had said. And my neighbor was he was just in shock and in utter disbelief that my children was accusing me. Like, I remember he was like, a part of him was like, I would never suspect this lady was beating on her children. But then the other part of him was like, they lying, this lady don't be beating on her children. And then he was like, yeah, he told a police officer, he was like, just by observing her and being her neighbor, I feel like this lady is jealous of her and is lying and things like that. So they did not take my children from me. It was just like, I just remember like when everybody left and things like that, this demon, because this is not a person, this demon snuck the phone right back to my daughter after getting it back, because that's why she claimed she came to my home to get the phone, because I took it from my daughter as a punishment. Like, it's always about me not competing. That's when there's a problem. It's like, no, you are going to compete. You are going to work yourself to the bone. You are going to, fuck, suck, and do what we do so you can compete with us. No, the fuck, I'm not. And even my children wanted me to suck and fuck instead of work my job, do my lashes, and teach them how to run a business, how to be a young lady that develops into a beautiful woman, a beautiful healed woman at that. They hated that shit. So boom, that was over with. My daughter went to school. She sent the phone with her daughter again to give to my daughter. And this time when I took the phone, she was like, I'm not going over there to get it back. So I won that. But that was just the beginning of the bullshit, because you knew she had to get me back, right? So, it was, matter of fact, that was Thanksgiving, because Christmas is when she got me back, right? So me and my daughter had a disagreement. They just made a vow that they was not going to do anything that I say. They wasn't going to listen to me, and they wanted me to ship them off to their dad, and my other daughter wanted to be shipped off to my mother, which I explained to them. Your dad sells drugs. You don't need to be in that environment. I'm trying to keep you away from that. And he's not even contacting you. He's not even calling you. He's not even helping me with you. So I don't want to force him. I don't want to force you on him, because that can be a dangerous situation. when you force a child on a man that's not even paying attention to their child. Been there, done that. So I'm not making that mistake again. And so me and my daughter had a disagreement, and I don't let my children out in the community because when I first moved into that apartment, I was warned by a random neighbor. She was like, girl, be careful out here because they human trafficking the children. And I was like, what? She said, yeah, girl, they human trafficking the children. This was a witch, by the way. So let's get into part 3. Meet me over there.